I'm joined by Miss Sarwar, who is the head of school for Key Stage 4, and as you know, Miss Baxter, who is the head of year for your children as well. So all three of us are really well versed in the Key Stage 4 journey and have been through this process many times in terms of overseeing both Year 10 and Year 11. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to cover this evening, and then and then I will pass on to my colleagues. So we're going to talk about the end of Year 10 exams, because I know this is a topic that a lot of parents are really keen to support their young people with, particularly because this is a really crucial kind of progress test examination season for them, being their final one before they go into Year 11. Ms. Sarwar is also going to talk to you about the College Taster Days, which are upcoming in the summer term, and all about kind of that college preparation journey that your young people are about to embark upon. And then you'll get a little bit more information about an award that Year 10 have been working towards in school called the IDEA Award. So the kind of dates for your diary, you're probably aware of this already, but the end of year exams are going to be from the 17th to the 28th of June. Sorry, I'm just going to make sure everyone's muted. Thank you. So it's from the 17th to the 28th of June. That is week 3 and 4 after the half-term break. And then there's some dates for College Taster Days. My colleague, Miss Sarwar, will give more information about the College Taster Days in a few minutes once I've spoken about the end of Year 10 exams. And the IDEA Award will kind of culminate end of June as well. So Miss Sarwar will talk to you about that. I have spoken to you before, I'm sure, about our home study habits. So as you know, we drive our scholar habits in school with all the students, and probably the most important one at the moment for your young people is home study. Miss Baxter's really been driving this with the young people day in, day out, and she's going to talk a little bit about that drive in a moment. So when we're driving home study, we use this like infographic to really break it down for students. And your students, believe me, are sick of seeing this because we share it with them all the time in lessons, in assembly, in form time. So to break down home study, we must start with a plan. So we are currently guiding your children through how to make an effective revision plan that they can stick to, making that realistic, making it really tied to specific subjects and specific activities that we want them to do. We obviously want them to organise their resources as well. So we're getting them to think over the next couple of weeks about what they need at home, whether that's a working space, what documents they need, what stationery they need, and we can support with that as well if needed. The M is the maximising the study habits. So over the coming weeks in school, we are really breaking down with students how to revise, because absolutely still in Year 10, a lot of students say, I'm not sure where to start, I don't know which activities to do, and that is completely normal. So we will support them and hold their hand through this process to make sure they have the opportunity to try some mind maps, to try some revision cards, to try online revision and find what works for them before we move into Year 11, because we really want them to take this end of Year 10 exam really seriously to work out their true strengths and areas of development so we can support them moving forward. And most importantly for me, actually, is the E stage, to evaluate your progress. So after any assessment, I say to students, it's not the assessment that's important, it's what comes after, whether that's informing your teacher of your knowledge gaps and your skill gaps, or informing you of how well your revision process paid off. The evaluate stage is so critical, and we're really going to encourage students to follow this home study habit. So I'm going to hand over now to Miss Baxter, who's going to talk to you a little bit about home learning. I'll just go on to mute while she presents the next few slides. You're on mute, Miss.
Hello everyone, I hope you can hear me. Just wave if you can. Thank you. Right. As Mr. Rowe was saying, I have been driving relentless about the homework. So at the moment, they know that the homework is being driven, and I must admit, they are accepting it, they're doing it. And I want to say a huge thank you to all the parents and carers, because without your support and help, I wouldn't have got as far as I have with the homework with the kids. So now that that's been put in place, the homework they're getting better at it. They understand that it needs to be done because it is part of their revision. If that work's not there, they're going to struggle with any form of revision. And I think that's very important that the homework is getting done. So I'm taking time out of my day to make sure homework is done, and asking the kids why it's not been done to get that done. Some of you will be aware that they are sending me messages on Teams. They're actually showing me the work that they have missed on Teams, and also sending the work to the member of staff as well. So I want to say a huge thank you for the parents and carers for this drive, because it has made a big, massive difference. I cannot stress the importance of the homework being done, because it is part of the revision. And also I want to make you know that I will also be driving probably this week and next week. I am going to do bespoke timetables for the students, like I did in year 8 and year 9. So if you want your child to be part of that, please let the child send me a message on Teams to say they would want a bespoke timetable, because I know I'm going to get inundated. So I want to make sure that every student that needs that gets that. And it also helps the parent to see a timetable on the fridge or in the bedroom of what their child's doing. So a little bit of it is, I do incorporate their social life, because they don't do anything without a phone anyway. So I'm getting them to use the phone as a flip chart. So if they are going away for the weekend because family or whatever, they can use their phone as a flip chart. So I'm also asking them to take pictures of their work, but they need to ask the member of staff, because as you know, we are a no phone school. So I will be asking members of staff to allow the students to take pictures of their work in the classroom as another way, as a flip chart on their phone, because we can't get rid of the phones. We might as well use them. So I'm using the phones in that respect to do that as well. So if you want to let them know if they want a bespoke timetable, so you as the parent and the carer at home can see that their child's doing something, plus it takes the pressure off yourselves, because you can see you're following that timetable as well. So yeah, that's what I'm about at this moment in time, because I don't want to stress the kids out in any way, shape or form, because it's not about stressing out. It's about finding a nice balance, a nice even balance. And a lot of the kids, they have that. You just need more help from yourselves, because we will get there. Also, I am planning on doing some, how can I put it? I want to take some of the children, not all the children will need this, not all the students will need this. I want to take some of the children through the exam process, because a lot of them get very anxious, very nervous about, oh, what do I do? What do I do? Where will I sit? Over the next couple of days, I will be taking maybe 1 or 2 groups of students. I'm just walking them through. I've had a word with the exam officer, which is Mr. Dawson, and he's more than happy to answer any questions that the students may have. So just to let you know, I'm doing it before the letter gets sent out. I'm jumping ahead of myself, so to say. So this week I will be taking a group of the students into the exam hall to let them see what the exam situation is. If they're part of the Access and Achievement group, walking them through that, seeing what members of staff will be in the room, so they're familiarising themselves before they actually sit any form of exam. They're very much they will be equipped, and yeah, sorry if I sound a bit, I'm not used to this, but yeah, I just wanted you to know that I'm covering everything, all the bases that I can possibly cover, because I've been with them since year 7. I know what they need, and I am prepared to go out and make sure that their needs are met by the students, and to make that transition for the exam as simple and as easy as I possibly can make it. And that's where the parents and carers come in. Because we're talking about it now, I would also like you to have them conversations with them. If they want to be part of that group, if they're not part of the access group or any other thing, anything, I'm more than happy to take the students with me to walk them through, to see where the seating plan is, because they're not aware that the seating plan changes for every single exam. So they will have to make themselves available to check the board, to make sure the seating plan, they understand what the seating plan is, where they'll be sitting, where they'll be going, and what rules and regulations are within the hall, the classroom situation. I'm about to let them know everything, just so they're not anxious, so they're not nervous, so that they know exactly where they're going to go with all of this. So that's my drive: homework, bespoke timetable, and the exam process. I just want to make sure the students have all them things, all the above, and that they're happy with that. And if any of the parents or carers want to give me, send me any messages, by all means, let me know on email or even on Teams. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thanks so much, Miss. That's great.
Thank you.
That is great.
Okay, so as Miss was saying, because it's the end of year 10 exam, they haven't really, because the exam hall is obviously set up from year 11 GCSEs, this is year 10's, kind of first key stage 4 taste of the exam hall. And it's a fine line for us. Obviously, we don't want to cause any worry or anxiety, but equally, we'd rather students have a practice shot at this at the end of year 10 before their mock exams. Their first set of mock exams is in November. So we'd like to alleviate and preempt any issues with the measures that Miss Baxter's mentioned then. If you do have any concerns, obviously just please contact any member of the team. We'll be more than happy to support, but we start in preparation well ahead of that exam schedule to really give year 10 the best shot here. I had a question on chat about homework. Homework will pretty much be focused on prep for the end of year 10 exams from here on in. So we're not going to be kind of asking students to do irrelevant tasks. I don't want you to think of it in that way. So everything will be focused on knowledge and skills that they need, because these exams are going to test all of the knowledge that they've amassed in Key Stage 4 so far. Those revision lists that I know so many of you use so well at home are now on the school website. So you can access the revision lists. Students have been directed to those as well, so they can start compiling specific topics when they're doing their home study timetable as well. So as I've mentioned, this is kind of the beginning of the step up to year 11. I know it will seem strange to you that your young people are now getting ready to go into their final year at high school. And we just really want them to have the best shot at this. So I keep stressing to students that, the outcome of these exams is going to inform year 11 setting. So it's really important they take them seriously and give them their best possible chance of success. As I've mentioned, the revision lists are online, and Miss Sarwar's also going to talk you through revision techniques, because we really want students to kind of find their area. One revision technique doesn't necessarily work for every single student. Some students take a little bit of time and trial and error to work out what works best for them. The sessions for English, Maths and Science are fixed. The others are less so. However, one thing I just wanted to mention, if your child studies separate sciences, there is one test, which is biology, outside of the progress test fortnight, which is Wednesday, the 12th of June. Obviously, for separate science students, they already know this, and they will be well prepared by their teachers. That one is just earlier. Obviously, for the separate scientists, it's important that they do biology, chemistry and physics. For the rest of science, they're just doing chemistry and physics, but that's all detailed on the revision lists, because the rest of year 10 did biology as their January progress test, if you remember. Okay, so don't worry, the young people will be reminded several times about that, so make sure no one misses it. In terms of our revision habits, we have our Chorlton High kind of SOS, our most recommended revision habits, having been through this process year on year, and based in evidence really of how we know children learn best. So we really encourage use of obviously the timetable to get started, to tie students to an activity each night, whatever that might be. And then we have the strategy you can see. So we've got mind maps, revision cards, online learning. As you know, students are well versed using Sparks, using Quizlet, using Educate, many online platforms, and GCSE Pod that will continue to drive. And they now are at the point in year 10 where they can start to access past papers as well. And that's a really useful revision tool that so many of our year 11s now are doing on a daily basis. So we are going to start to introduce this idea of past papers for them to have a go at like a mock exam to help them to prepare. The reason we do the progress tests, and we kind of always come back to this, is, you know, really to challenge our young people and to make sure that they have the skills necessary for them to move on to the future at college as well. I'm just going to speak to you very briefly about our memory model. This is something that I've spoken to students about several times, and I know a lot of you will be familiar with it anyway. So we're always talking to students about moving information to their long-term memory, and the fact that for that to happen, actually regular retrieval is needed. They have to revisit the same content again and again and again to move that information to long-term memory. If they just encounter a topic once in lesson, that's not enough. So I'm saying to students, even if they don't think they've got a clear homework task set, they should be doing regular daily retrieval of just getting out their exercise book and think, right, okay, in science, I was doing electrolysis. Let's have a little look over that, make sure I know the keywords, make sure I know the fundamentals of that process. And then a week later, maybe do the same thing again, and just that regular review. So if you've got a teenager that likes to say to you, I don't have any homework, and I know there's quite a lot of them, please encourage them to get their exercise books out. They should not be leaving exercise books at school now. They should be taking them to and from, which I know the vast majority do, but they should take them home in their school bag. Then they can get them out with you or by themselves in their bedroom, however they best revise, to constantly revisit that information, because we're always telling them all the science of learning tells us that it is essential to keep up that retrieval practice to move information to long-term memory. You can even say that I've shown you this infographic because I've shown them that the students it that many times in assembly. I'm going to hand over at this point to Miss Sarwar. I think I just missed a question in chat. Let me just have a quick look. Yes, I will add the revision list now to the chat whilst Miss Sarwar's presenting. But thanks so much for your engagement, guys. I'll hand over to Miss Sarwar.
Right, okay. Good afternoon, good evening. Yes, so my this is where I come really, and my role as the head of upper school. Year 11s are doing the exams right now. We just did the student voice again, and the problem was they still haven't done their revision timetable properly, and the majority of them said we're doing random revision, and there's no revision plan, or there's lots of people they said that they don't stick to the revision timetable. And this is what we're going to do with year 10s. That's what we have started early, and we call these exams not progress tests. We say end of year exams, year 10 exams. So they're going to do the core exams in the examination hall, so they can have the flavor of what the real exams look like or feel like. So exam timetable, that will be the main focus for me, and also the exam techniques. This is what we're going to drive from now on till they break up, and then when they come back in September, we will continue to drive. So there will be a lot of work will be going on with year 10, so they prepare for year 11. And they are, to be honest, we told them already, we said, you are the next year 11s now, you are class 2025, so they are beginning to think like that. Okay, so this is what's happening at form time. So that's why I said form time is quite important, and they make sure they're punctual, they're attending sessions every day. So last week we have done these revision techniques, revision timetable. The whole week we have spent, and we done the assembly on the independent study habits and the importance of exercise books and how to prepare for the exams. The whole point is the books are crucial. Their books are like their revision guides. So they need to take books home. They need to review the books. They make sure they make additional notes and this and that. So week 3, you can see it's basically an independent timetable. The week 4 is is mind maps, revision cards, and lateness principle, and then Connell method. These are the revision techniques we will be using, and we make sure that they get the most of it. The past papers, week 6, that means the last week is going to be all about GCSE Pod, Seneca, so we're going to do more work on this. So this is going to carry on at form time, and as you can see that each year has got something to do. So year 7s are doing mind maps, year 11s, 8s are doing question and answer and revision cards, how to make those cards. Year 9s, the summary, how to write the summary and revision cards, and year 10s are basically past papers, GCSE Pod, lateness principle, Cornell notes, mind maps, everything. So year 10 is just a summary of everything, and we make sure that they prepare for that. So the skills, we're focusing on these skills because they can improve their confidence when they're learning something. And I always tell them, as I teach science to my students, and I always tell them that every single lesson matters. Whenever they are learning in a lesson, there's no harm in making some mind maps, some revision cards in the same lesson, so they have got some kind of summary of what they have done in a lesson as a right at the end, if they write the summary without looking at the book. So that is the one way to start practicing, and this is what we've been telling them since we started in year 10, and that helps them to improve the memory, and they become have the lifelong learner. They can remember the stuff, because what they're doing right now in year 10, they will be tested again in March for March mock exams in year 11. So whatever they are doing, they make sure that the information, the memory, whatever they're trying to remember, it stays there in the memory drive. So all the information is on MS Teams. What they will be tested on, how to create a revision timetable, and the revision techniques and all that. So if they go into the Microsoft Teams, right at the top, there will be home learning, and the home learning, and all the information will be there. As you can see, for year 7, 8, and 9, and 10, and 11, they just click for 10, and the information will be up to date on that one. And this is what it looks like if they go onto the year 10 Teams. And if they click on it, they can go directly onto the summer exams. Okay, so but I'm going to go through a little bit more detail, because this is what I have gone through with them last week. So this is the science one, okay? As you can see, the science, they will be tested on chemistry paper, and they will be tested on biology paper. So chemistry paper 1 and biology paper 1. So we have provided all the topics they need to learn about those, those 2 papers: atomic structure, periodic table, bonding, quantitative chemistry, chemical changes, and energy changes. And for physics, is energy, electricity, people really find it hard, and particle model and atomic structure. So this is what they will be tested on, because they will be tested for chemistry and physics. Once they got this information, they need to ask their teachers for knowledge organizers or PLCs, or to break it down a little bit more: atomic structure and periodic table, what topics comes under those atomic structure and periodic table. Okay, so that's the information. It's about the science one. Okay, so if you go on to, once they got the information, they need to rank the information. Okay, though if they're not really good at something, they just highlight it yellow, red, green, and they start with the red. Okay, and once they got the information, they need to have their exercise books with them, because the exercise books are their like revision guide. They are their best friends, because that's the work they have done throughout the whole year. And they must have some revision cards because of the previous exams they have done, and some stationery. All that is all about the resources are crucial. Once the resources are there, they will be, organized. Once they feel organized, they will be fine. So that's the knowledge organizer. We give our students in science, but every single knowledge organizer will be on MS Teams as well. And if there isn't any, please just communicate with us to make sure the teachers provide them before they break up for half term. So if you look at the information in here, that the whole chemical bonds and atomic structure is broken down into further topics, and that helps them to revise a little bit more and say, okay, what then, this is just a breakdown, what information they need for that exam. Once they got the knowledge organizers, then they can easily plan their revision timetable. So this revision timetable, the whole booklet, been given to students last week, so they should have the booklet. They should know how to complete, because we have done a lot of work on it. I always tell them to use the pencil so they can just rub it off, because you can't have the best timetable straight away. As you can see, I have completed some for, just to show them. So type of bonding, Monday morning, there's no harm in come to the study, come to the the library is open from 8 o'clock onwards, and they can maybe, if you want to go there and do some quizzes on Educate, or they can do anything. Some people are like early bird, they can do the Math Sparks at home or in the library. Something, if they want to do a little bit at the beginning, that is always give them a good kickstart. Then they go to school, and then after school there are 3 hours there. There's a half an hour for each, for a learning process. So if you look at the covalent bond, okay, small molecule, what they're using, GCSE part, drama devising log, geography case studies, flashcards, more broken down instead of what I have seen last week when people were writing their revision timetable, they were just writing the subjects, but they wasn't writing the topics. Okay, and that is the crucial bit, because they need to write the topics. If you can see, the English is the Macbeth analysis, math is algebra. Once they have done that, they need to then highlight what they have learned really well in green. So that means they can basically not to revisit for next 2 to 3 weeks, maybe before the exam. The yellow ones needs revisiting again, maybe the end of the week. And the red ones are the ones they just basically for Saturday and Sunday, when the deep revision, we call them deep revision weekend, where they just basically go back and go through with those topics again. We will be doing some workshops on how to how to revise, which method they should use, and it's best to use the variety of methods, because that's the best way of learning. But same time, the class teachers will make sure that they are on board, and we are all having the same kind of we're on the same path. Also, in that booklet there is a revision session on during holidays, 5 a day. That means they can have a flavor of 5 different sessions. So I have completed that as well. So they know that during holidays they should spend some time on doing revision as well. So the plan is crucial. Whether you think it's too much, whether you think it's less, but if there is no plan, they won't. Then the word they were using recently, the 11th, is we've been doing random revision, and I just don't want them to be doing random revision. I want them to be super organized, and I want them to know what they will be tested on. The main thing is to know where the topics are, to know how to get the resources, and to have the best revision plan, and then we will come up with the revision techniques and what's the best way to revise. And right at the back of the booklet, there are some notes, to-do list, the past papers, and if I were them, they should take some. We have printed so many past papers out, and we got loads for year 11, so we got plenty for year 10s as well. So before they break up for half term, make sure they got the past papers. Okay. GCSE Pod is free, and for you, with the school paying for it, and it's a very good one. The mind map's already there, the review maps are already there, the memory card's already there, and once students go through with all that, then they go on to the past papers. Don't do the past papers straight away. Make sure that they go through with the knowledge organizers, then creating the some, you know, the revision cards, or what's the best way to summarize their information, and then they do the papers. E11s are come to this stage now. They are learning from the mark scheme. They're doing papers after papers, and they said that they're learning from the mark schemes. So each child will develop their own style by the time they will come back for September, or maybe after the college entry exams, or maybe after the March exams. It's a learning process. They know their username. Okay, that's their email address, and also the password is Cholton 2023. And that is basically going to take them straight away to the, and then the GCSE part is for all the subjects, and it's up to date as well. Okay, so I always speak to the students, and they always think that the revision is quite a lonely process. I just want you to be part of it, whether you know the topics, whether you know the subject or not. Just be part of this, okay? And the best way is to just ask them, okay, where's your revision card? Okay, this is what you have made. Let's see, let me just test you and that kind of the thing. Make sure you're asking them. They will just send you back. They will make sure that you're not part of this whole revision world, and they might don't let you in, but keep asking them. Make sure they are not lonely. The last thing, you know, you want is that they're sharing or everything with their friends, but they're not sharing with you. So that kind of information, we will be doing more and more on revision cards, as you can see. And these are the revision cards. I just took the picture this morning from year 11 students, and they said they didn't make these revision cards this year. It's a last 2 years process, because they started in GCSEs in year 9. And mind maps, whatever they produce, make sure this is what they did in my class on yesterday. And they produced, not yesterday, on Friday, and they studied about the periodic table and what they did. And I'm telling you, when they are working in that kind of mode, they wrote some questions at the back, and they were asking each other questions as well. And it was a really nice atmosphere. I'm just saying that as the whole school is driving this and students are in this mode, I just want the same momentum going at home. Okay, I'm not going to go through with this because I don't think that we have got time. But what we're going to go through a lot of different principle revision methods. The one I'm going to go through on Wednesday, and I'm going to do in the assembly. And in the assembly, I'm going to teach them one topic, and they're going to produce this. This is called Cornell. And in this Cornell method is basically they find the GCSE part or whatever topic they're watching, maybe the video clip, or they're learning from the revision guide. They basically break the whole page down, look like this, like a T shape. Okay, and they write the title there, and then on the left hand side they write the question. So suppose if I'm teaching them everything about the atom. So all the questions about an atom, what the atom is made up of, what are the protons, what are the neutrons, what makes the nucleus of an atom, how many electrons are in outer cell, and all that. And when they're watching the video, or when they are learning about that topic, they write the summary in the middle. Okay, so once they have done that, all the key information, okay, I will tell you in a minute. And then right at the end, once they have done that, they're going to hide all the information, and they're going to write the summary at the bottom, whatever they have learned, the best method. And it works when they are doing year 10 and when they're in year 11 and when they're in year 10, because it looks quite different. And after that, they can just do the past paper, and that basically helps them to. All the videos and everything will be on the you know, I will just leave the whole PowerPoint there, so you can, in your own time, you can have a look. You know, the whole. So this is like Macbeth one, beautifully written. Okay, even the highlighted words, you know what that means. And once they start revising to depth, I'm not saying the quantity at the moment, but the quality is there. The slowly, gradually, they will move. And when there's in May 2025, they will be ready for the exam. It's just a process. All these exams is just a process. Take notes home, ask them what you have done today in school, and ask them and keep testing them. Okay. Okay, so make sure they have a plan. Please start working with them. I know you all will have your own ways of revising as well, and you can share with them. and make sure they're organized, and make sure that when they're revising, you're part of it. You are part of the whole process, and they're not lonely in this process. We're also going to go through this lateness principle as well when they divide their learning in green, amber, and red. And they are those, they create some 3 boxes, so they can have the 3 shoe boxes. So the topic they're really good at, good with, and they don't need to go back to till next week. They put in a green box. The topic they're really not sure 100% will go into the yellow box. And the ones they really need to work on is going to the red box. So they are the 2 revisions techniques, lateness principle, and also the Cornell notes. We will going to work on it. And after that, they're going to work on past papers, okay? So if I say 1 hour, in this 1 hour time is going to be crucial, okay? So first 15 minutes map out. They would draw a mind map, they do the Cornell notes, they do whatever they are, however they are, how they are summarizing whatever they write, okay? And the next thing is basically they're going to revise. They're going to revisit those topics again, and they're just going to revise. And the next 15 minutes is good. They're going to recall. They're going to say what they have done, what they have revised, make sure it's in a memory. And then they do the past paper. Don't do all the past papers in one go, because the past papers have got a variety of questions. Suppose I'm talking about atomic structure. So find the question on atomic structure and do that question. Mark scheme will be on the system as well, where the revision, where all the information is on about the revision on MS Teams. And also the mark scheme will be provided by the teachers. And there's plenty on, once you know the exam board, there are plenty on the website as well. Okay, so GCSE pod is the one we will be focusing on. Okay, so I need to talk briefly about the taster days. So we have booked the taster days with Xaverian, Loreto, and Manchester College. Trafford College also invited us, but the date they have given us is during progress test. So Loreto College, they're going to send us 4 coaches and more. It's so 230 or 250 students can go and have the taste of the A-levels or BTEC or diplomas, whatever their students going to choose. They're going to have that session over there, and we're going to spend all day over there. There will be other schools will be coming as well, and they will have their lunch and break over there, and they're going to look around. We do this every day. Sorry, this light is automatic. We do this every year, and this year we're going to do the same. And there is a criteria, of course, and because when they're applying for the colleges, especially the Loreto and Xaverian, they want specific attendance, the punctuality, the effort grades. They look at the behavior points, everything. And I will use the same criteria for them to make sure, unless when these students are chosen to go for those taster days, they're going to go through with the same criteria as well. And if there's any issues with attendance, and Ms. Baxter will know best, and I will definitely go through with the list with Ms. Baxter. And then if there is any issue with the punctuality or any reason, she will update me. So that is during July. And the end of June, we also make sure that the students are up to date with IDEA. This is the whole year journey, okay? This is what they have done. They should have completed by the end of June, the 4 badges up to the gold, silver, or bronze. What we will do, I think we will start running some clinics during form time, where students will be withdrawn, and we make sure that if they're bronze, they can go up to silver. If they're silver, they can try gold. Or the ones that haven't finished even bronze, or they are basically there are gaps in their the projects, then they will be basically catching up. So make sure that at the end of this year, they should have the IDEA award. So when they're applying for the colleges, they can talk about the IDEA, because they can talk about work experience, they can talk about lots of other things, and they can also talk about their end of year exams or anything they have done. So their personal statement, when they write the personal statement for the colleges, it looks good. This is what I have been told to share with you, the menu for the lunches as well. The lunches are very good. To be honest, I'm having burgers every day. I don't know why. but they are quite nice. So that's, I can't really see clearly, but the whole menu looks quite good, and there's a variety every day. Every day there's a variety of food, and it's worth of our money. Okay, and then communication, as I said, we always communication through the reports, parents' evenings, parental events, and there is a Chorlton High School website as well, and also Chorlton Connection, and we send half-termly letters, and also the social media, and also the performances we do in the Blue Box. So that's another way to communicate. And by all means, you can send us emails. Within 24 hours, we will respond to your emails. We also have won the Test School Award. We've been shortlisted, okay, for the Test School Awards, and that is another biggest achievement for us. And what I have to say, I have to end this whole meeting by saying that your students will be our class 2025. They are our next cohort, because current year 11, they're class 2024. So just get ready for this year 11 journey. Okay, so I'm willing to take, if you can type on the chat any questions, I will try my best. So I cannot, oh gosh, there's so many. Just to quickly run through. So what I will do, I will just it's recorded. This the whole part, the session that will be. I will just post that afterwards. Past papers, you can read the past papers. Yeah, the best place is also from the home learning from on MS Teams. And if you want the printed version, they need to ask their teachers. But if you can go on to just like the website, AQA website, just like for science I'm talking about. So if you go onto the AQA past papers, AQA, combined science or triple, there's plenty on those websites and we can direct you. But if you need any specific papers, ask your students to get them. If not yet, the MME website is another good one. They got all the past papers. If you type MME past papers, every single paper is there. Another one is a good one is Physics and Maths Tutor. It's a free website and it's got a lot of broken down. The topics are broken down, and they got, suppose if cells is one of the topic, they got about since 2018 till 2024, all the questions on that topic are there. So that is another good one. Physics and Maths Tutor and an MME websites are quite good ones. But if you want the printed ones, they can print them in school. The printing is free. Doesn't matter how many they print, printing is free. And if they want any help, they can come to see me or Miss Baxter. If they want to see me, I'm in a study center, and the study center is open for year 11s. But as soon as the year 11s exam finish, and I'm talking about from 15th of June, study center is for year 10s. For your kids, it's available, and the study center is open from 4:45 till 5:30. And I run the study center. I make sure it's open, and I make sure the students want to come early. They can have the study center got all the revision guides, all the past papers, and they can. But that will be their center once the year 11s finish. And yeah, you can ask teachers, and if there is no response, please let me know. That's my job, is to make sure that I chase that, make sure the students get what they yeah, we never had an issue with the tech before. I don't know what happened. I'm normally quite good. GCSE pod got all the information and started from there's a lot of videos there. Okay, there's a lot of videos about each topic, and then there's a quiz, and then there's past papers there for quick testing. Seneca is another one the schools recommend. Some students prefer Seneca, and the best one I noticed recently, and I was talking to a lot of year 11s, and they were telling me, is the BBC Bite Size. They have got phenomenal update on their resources, and once you get used to it, one kind of resources, then sometimes the students prefer that, and there's not too much in it. It's a lot of information in under one roof. So that, and what happened, what they have started recently, they have started the pods. You know, the students can, when they're coming to school and they're walking to school, they can hear one of the pod about that topic, topic-based pods, and it's this is nice, refreshing as well, because they're hearing someone else's voice and they're absorbing as well. So there's a lot of different ways you need to explore. Yeah, all the tests. So the basics is from 17th of June. All the tests will start. We will going to get the dates as soon as, and that's where the students have the planners. They need to go around and ask the teachers to when those tests are. And the core subjects they will have in in the sports hall, we call examination hall. The rest of them will be in lessons. Okay, yeah, the teachers do have past papers, and they will be willing to give it to year 10s. As we said, we have printed loads for year 11s, so we have enough supply. And they have to be, the best thing is before you, for you as a parent, needs to know what the exam boards are. And once you know the exam board, then you can basically find those papers on MME. You can find those papers on website. You can drop me any email. Yeah, you can drop us any emails and we will respond to that. Okay, no issue. We will be working with you guys from now on, close communication, quick communication, and make sure that you get what. And if you need any help for anything, you know, we were thinking, and I was talking to Miss Baxter, and she was quite keen to run some workshops with the parents as well. And sometime when you are collectively in here as a group of 20, 30 parents, and when you are together, sometimes when you're talking to each other, there's a lot of learning going on. My kids don't come in here, and I always feel like I got no communication, I got no connection with the school. And sometimes it's nice to have the parents there and on the same boat. So if you want that kind of, where you can, not as a kind of a parents' evening, but the gathering, we're more than happy to arrange that as well. And this is what I'm quite passionate and keen about, because I felt like we have done with the 11s recently before the exam started, and it was quite useful. Attendance, if there's a due to health problems, no problem, because then that's why I said I will speak to Miss Baxter, and Miss Baxter is the one who will tell me, okay, if there is any issues or if there is anything on, any health issues, then we will consider that's not an issue. That is not an issue. Yeah, all the exam boards should be on the website. If not, then I will basically, they should be, because all the information is on there. Miss Baxter's email for a biscuit, yeah, then we can basically, her email is Miss M.Baxter and Chorlton High. Sorry. .manchester.sk.uk. Okay. And is there any parents' evening date coming up? There's no parents' evening this year. Year 10 has gone. But we were just thinking to have some kind of parent information evening in person before we break up. So that will be, that will be useful. So the rest of the emails are same. So the m.baxter@chorltonhigh.manchester.uk, sk.uk. If you want to send it to me, the j.sawa, if it's Miss Jirov, then a.jirov. Have I missed any question? I can't remember if I have missed any. Okay, after having so many issues, we finally, I'm sorry, I think it was too quickly run through. Yeah, so what I will do, I will leave this PowerPoint in year 10 folder, where your kids normally go onto the year 10 one, and you can run those. There is a video on each slide about the GCSE part, or about lateness principle and all that, and how to make the revision timetable, so you can run it as well. Okay. I hope you found it useful. I do apologize for these technical issues. We never had problem before. But here you go. Technology is no one's friend. Let's have a lovely, lovely evening. And any issues, just please do not hesitate to let us know. I will just upload this PowerPoint on Year 10 Teams. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.